Good evening, I'm Farhana Sheikh. Our top stories for tonight: Thailand and Cambodia agree to immediate ceasefire, and US-China resume tariff talks to extend truce. More coming up on AWANI International. Cambodia and Thailand have agreed to an immediate and unconditional ceasefire of its border clashes, following peace talks chaired by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim in Putrajaya. In a joint press conference, Anwar said the ceasefire would take effect from midnight local time.
Prime Minister Hun Manet and Acting Prime Minister Phumtham Vichayachai have expressed their positions and willingness to immediate ceasefire and return to normalcy. The United States President Donald J. Trump has been in contact with the leaders of both countries, urging the leaders to find peaceful resolution to the conflict. The Chinese side have kept close contact with Cambodia, Thailand, and Malaysia and relevant countries to actively promote dialogue, ceasefire, and restoring peace. The presence and collaboration of all parties underscore a shared commitment to peace, dialogue, and regional stability.
Anwar also announced that military commanders from both sides will hold an informal meeting tomorrow at 7 a.m. This will be followed by a meeting of defense attachés and a session of the General Border Committee on August 4th, hosted by Cambodia. Both countries have also agreed to resume direct communication between their prime ministers as well as foreign and defense ministers. Anwar added that a detailed mechanism for implementation, verification, and reporting of the ceasefire would be drawn up. At least 33 people have been killed and 300,000 displaced since fighting escalated along the Cambodia-Thailand border following months of tensions.
Right, top US and Chinese economic officials are meeting today in Stockholm to address long-standing trade disputes. The talk aims to extend a truce and delay steep tariff hikes by another 3 months. The meetings are led by US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Chinese Vice Premier He Lifeng. The current 90-day truce, under which both sides temporarily lowered tariffs, is set to expire on August 12th. It followed preliminary deals in May and June that paused weeks of escalating tariffs and Beijing's threat to restrict rare earth exports. Further truce extensions would prevent further escalation and allow time to plan a potential meeting between US President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping in late October or early November. We have more of Thailand and Cambodia's ceasefire after this break. Stay tuned.
Berita hebat untuk pelanggan Astro Movies dan Epic Pack. Prime Video kini termasuk dalam langganan anda.
Who's the action hero now?
Anda boleh stream 24 jam sehari. Pelbagai filem kesukaan anda.
Amazing.
Janab Hindustan.
Amazon Originals.
It's big.
Are you ready? Serta K-Favorites terkini. Semua ni dan banyak lagi.
Kalian pilih video siapa yang akan tayang.
Pelanggan Astro Movies dan Epic Pack. Stream Prime Video sekarang dengan Astro. Anda juga boleh langgan Prime Video melalui aplikasi My Astro.
Di dalam setiap berita yang dibawa, konteks amat penting. Kami sentiasa membawakan yang tergempar dan terkini. Pastikan Astro AWANI menjadi pilihan anda, tidak kira di mana sahaja anda berada.
ASEAN has helped broker a rare ceasefire between Cambodia and Thailand, bringing both sides, along with the US and China, to the same table. Is this one of ASEAN's strongest moments in crisis diplomacy? And is Malaysia showing what middle power leadership can look like? Joining us now is Dr. Rustam Vansu, Lecturer of Conflict and Peace Studies at Prince of Songkhla University. Thank you so much, Doctor. Right. Doctor, from Thailand's perspective, what were the key factors that led to this ceasefire agreement, and how does Bangkok actually view ASEAN's role and Malaysia's role in mediation in resolving the conflict?
Yes, I say congratulations for both parties. Now we can reach to a ceasefire agreement. At least it can we can save the life of people on the both sides, and to stop the loss of life from this border clash between Thailand and Cambodia. I think in Thailand, for Thai people now, we satisfy with these ceasefire agreements hosted by Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim of Malaysia on the platform of ASEAN. I think the reason why the both parties can reach an agreement this time, I think at least it was a win-win for both of them. For Thailand, we can keep the ceasefire between the two countries. This means it did not become, a bigger international issue. Thailand was able to get Cambodia to talk directly, both leaders and military chiefs, and get back to the General Border Committee or GBC meetings. And another for Thailand is we can decrease the military threat from Cambodia. And Thailand show it could defend itself, which should make Cambodia think twice before using its military against Thailand again. But for Cambodia, what I consider a win for Cambodia is that Cambodia getting a ceasefire because of ASEAN push for it. By this way, Cambodia didn't have to look like it was giving up or surrendering to the Thai army.
Right.
Before we can observe that Cambodia tried to take this issue to the UNSC, or we can say Cambodia tried to internationalize this conflict, but it looked like it cannot success or it's failed because the UNSC look like did not agree with what Cambodia would like to do. So
right, Doctor.
UNSC push this thing back to ASEAN. Yes.
Right, Doctor. So when we talk about crisis diplomacy, now ASEAN managed to bring both parties, even superpowers like the US and China, were present today. So in your view, is this ceasefire agreement one of ASEAN's strongest examples of managing a regional crisis through diplomacy and also peaceful coexistence?
Yeah, it is a strong example. ASEAN effectively mediated bilateral ceasefire, demonstrating its diplomatic capacity and central role in peaceful and regional crisis management, even amidst superpower interests. But in my observation is that ASEAN may be ineffective. ASEAN may be, successful in resolve the conflict between, the country members of ASEAN, or between the conflict between state to state. But we can observe that the conflict inside state, like in case of Myanmar, the civil war in Myanmar, or before its Rohingya case, ASEAN look like have very limited ability to cope with this kind of issue. Yes.
Right. Doctor, what does Malaysia's role as mediator say about the influence and potential of middle powers in leading regional peace efforts?
Yes, I appreciate Malaysian role, especially the role of Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, he has a very good relation with ASEAN leaders, and also with Thailand also. and by himself, by his personal relation also in Thailand. And I observe his charismatic leadership as a head or as a leader of ASEAN country nowadays. So Malaysia's role highlight that medium power can be crucial, trusted, and effective mediators in regional peace efforts, and leveraging their neutrality and relationship to facilitate agreement. So this is what Malaysian role.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Rastam Vansu from University of Prince of Songkhla University for your insights, and we'll be keeping a close eye on this. Right. We now move on to the latest trade deal secured by the European Union. The US and EU have agreed on a trade deal that will impose a 15% tariff on all EU goods. In return, the EU has agreed to open its markets to US exporters with 0% tariffs on certain products.
The deal was reached after talks between US President Donald Trump and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen during Trump's 5-day visit to Scotland. Technical details are expected to be finalized in the coming weeks. The new rate is half of the 30% import tax Trump had threatened to impose starting August 1st. Trump said the agreement would see the EU increase its investment in the US by $600 billion, including on military equipment, and spend $750 billion on American energy. Key sectors like aircraft parts, certain chemicals, and some agricultural goods will also be reportedly exempt from tariffs. The US, however, will keep a 50% tariff on steel and aluminium, though von der Leyen suggested it could shift to a quota system with further talks.
On to updates in Gaza, Israel has eased some restrictions in Gaza, allowing more than 100 truckloads of aid to be collected today. But the United Nations warns that the amount is nowhere near enough to tackle the looming health crisis and famine in the city. Gaza authorities say 14 more Palestinians have died from starvation in the past 24 hours. Now, this brings the total number of hunger-related deaths to 133 since Israel's operations began. According to the government media office, Gaza needs 600 trucks of aid daily and 250,000 cans of baby formula each month to meet minimum needs. On Sunday, Israel announced 10-hour daily pauses in military operations in parts of Gaza, including designated routes for humanitarian convoys. However, there have been reports that Israeli forces opened fire on Palestinians waiting for food in northern Gaza, causing several casualties. US President Donald Trump has met with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer in Scotland. The agenda includes implementing the UK-US trade deal as well as Gaza and Ukraine's peace process. Now, Starmer had pushed for a reduction in US steel and aluminium tariffs, but Trump on Sunday ruled out changes to the 50% duties for European countries and declared the UK trade deal concluded. The meeting also covered issues on Gaza amid growing pressure globally to recognize a Palestinian state. Trump says that the US is prepared and wants to help humanitarian efforts in Gaza. He's also speaking to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. On Friday, Starmer said the UK would do so only as part of a negotiated peace deal, disappointing many in his Labour Party who want faster action following France's lead. On the issue of Ukraine, the two leaders discussed applying pressure on Russian President Vladimir Putin to end the war. Trump says that the new deadline for Russia is now 10 or 12 days from today. He earlier threatens to reduce the 50-day deadline for Putin to agree on a deal. Right, that wraps up AWANI International. Stay tuned for reports on the rivalry strategies and the shifts behind the power affairs driving the new global order. Visit international.astro.awani.com for more and be sure to follow our social media accounts. I'm Farhana Sheikh. Thank you for watching and good night.